What kind of movie is Adam?
Okay. Adam is an independent queer comedy about a cisgender boy who accidentally is mistaken as trans, and he gets kind of caught in the lie, sort of like a mistaken identity story. And he's trying to get out of the lie, and he's failing. And it kind of imagines a world that's mostly LGBT, queer, and trans, and Adam is the outsider. So it's kind of flipping this idea of like who's like the majority and who's the minority.
There is a controversy around your film that has sparked a debate in the LGBT community. How do you respond to that?
Yeah. So yeah, there's been some discussion and debate around the movie, mostly from people who haven't seen the movie yet, which I totally understand on one hand, because the premise of the movie sounds really provocative, and it actually sounds like it could be doing something kind of weird and offensive. And when I first heard of the movie, I was skeptical about it too, and sort of thought, this sounds problematic, or I don't know if I'm going to be offended by it. When I read the script and saw the movie in my mind, I realized it was actually not what my fears, not what I feared. And it was actually doing this very interesting, very subversive thing that I'd never seen before on camera. So from when people actually watch the movie, they tend to really like it, including queer and trans people. And it's kind of hard to really sit down and explain beat by beat exactly why and what they see in it. Although a lot of things have been written about the movie, so I would encourage people to read reviews online from people who have actually seen the movie. But also I would recommend people actually watch it for themselves and try to make their own decision too. And it's really funny, it's really generous, it stars and involved lots of queer and trans people. I think it's a movie unlike most that we've seen before, and I would kind of ask that people like give it a chance, and also knowing that it's made by a trans filmmaker. The movie's about the gray area. It's not about black and white thinking. And I kind of asks people to, sit in the complexity of like a gray area issue. And I think that people will walk away with having a lot of like interesting new thoughts and conversations. I don't think anybody will feel like really bad or upset about the movie. Honestly, that's never happened. We've screened it a lot of times all over the world, and people are pretty happy when they leave the theater. So,
have there been someone that has been skeptical but has changed their mind after watching it?
Yes, there's actually been a lot of people who have been very skeptical about the movie, and then been totally, I guess I don't want to say won over, but they've done a 180 and they feel completely different about the movie after they've seen it.
Det derfor festivalen eksisterer. Jeg mener, skal vi ikke vise noe som kontroversielt for å skape dialog? Det liksom en av festivalens misjoner, det jo å skape dialog blant mennesker i miljøet. Og skal vi da ikke vise noe som kontroversielt, det har jo ingen mening. Vi må jo kunne møtes i en samtale. I en samtale, ikke bare å skrike høyest til hverandre for å bli hørt. For det bærer jo ingen vei. Så jeg håper de kommer.